Oh, are there things to yap about? Hello. Hello, bestie. We're just gonna do what we were doing yesterday, honestly. I hope so. I'm trying not to. Because, like, when I open up the laptop, I usually do it at, like, the last minute. In the sense that if I'm gonna start streaming at, like, around now, I open it around, like, 12 or something. So I set it up in, like, 8 minutes. Like, I try to get it ready. Yeah, we're gonna work a little bit on Trey. We're gonna work a little bit on them. Because yes. And then I might spin the wheel again to see who else will draw. Everything just got cut off last time and I was confused. Oh, okay. It's warm in here. There we go. Back to Troy. Back to trying to figure out how human work. With shapes. Little boy. Is there things to yap about? It's cold where I'm at because the air is on. Yeah, the air is on too. It's just that my room gets hit with the sun, so it gets warmer compared to all the other rooms in this house. I don't know why though, because the sun only sets in front of my room, but it doesn't rise. It's weird. But then again, it is like more outside walls than inside walls around here, so I don't know. Oh boy. Have you heard? Have you heard the thing that PlayStation announced yesterday? That is not going over well. Oh, am I annoyed? I'm annoyed. They're trying to put an end to physical media. PlayStation announced that by 2028, they're no longer going to make physical games and everything's going to be like digital. And that did not go over well. Nobody liked that. Especially because I heard that with PlayStation, they have a habit of getting rid of people's libraries for really dumb reasons. They said, we're not going to make physical games anymore. Everything's going to be bought online. And then they closed the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita digital storefronts. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about it when it was happening. And what did I say? I kind of got lost in thought for a second, but like they want to get rid of digital, not digital. They want to get rid of the physical media and move everything digital. And it's like, that's not going to go over well if you can just remove people's right to the digital thing they bought. It's like, isn't that technically illegal? Why hasn't there been laws to stop this in the first place? Because it's like, you buy something, you own the thing, but that hasn't applied to digital for like a while. And nobody seemed to care back then when everything was kind of slowly going to digital. Along with the fact that I said that the appeal of a console is that you want physical games. Yeah, that's what I was talking to him about, because like, if you buy a console, you want physical games. If you buy a PC, you don't really care if your games are physical or not because you have a PC. You know? It's like, it's two different markets to begin with. So it's like, if you're gonna do that, you might as well stop making consoles and just make computers. Because at that point, it's like, what's the point in making the consoles if you can't play games that you already bought either? Like, they don't make the PlayStation stop being backwards compatible around, like, PlayStation 5, apparently. And then they're like, PlayStation 6 is going to be no physical disc drive at all, so you can't even play your physical PlayStation 5 games if you have any. So it's like, what is the point? It's like these terrible business practices. They want the money in the short term, but they don't care about the long run, the damage that they're doing. They're shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah, I never got any of the newer PlayStations. I only have an original PlayStation and PlayStation 3. And it's not even a regular PlayStation 3. It's the one that they released for like a very limited time that actually is backwards compatible. And you can play Blu-rays on there. He's watching you draw. The weird dad of the group. Yep. Riddle is here to watch. As I draw his vice storm leader getting up in the morning and not being happy about it. I think we can work with this now. I just need... Because sometimes I don't know how to draw his face. I need it right over here. Also, I'm never gonna get Suit Riddle from the Tsum Tsum game. It happens. I feel your pain. I had to come to terms with the fact that Ortho just did not want to come home when his club card was out. It ends today and getting coins is hard. It'd be like that. That also reminds me a little bit of like... Mobile games also kind of always had that problem too. Where you'll put money and time into these games and then one day the server has to close down because the game just isn't popular anymore. Its main story is probably already finished and all it is just event stuff and all that. So it's like, then you're no longer able to play it anymore. Which is sad because I think, at least with some of the ones that are more like Otome style, like you could try and do like a physical sort of special edition release if you really wanted to, so that way people don't have to suffer with the loss of their own game that they've spent a bunch of money on to begin with. I don't know. Like, this has always been a problem with the mobile games, actually. Because once the servers are gone, you can't really play that game anymore unless you already have, like, an old phone with it still on there and you didn't delete it. But then it's not gonna work right anymore. Which is weird. Like, I'm surprised no studio has ever thought of the idea of creating like a special edition version of like a mobile game where it basically has almost everything from the mobile game in it. And it's like, oh, if you already had it, you can basically unlock most of this stuff quicker. But if you buy it for the first time ever, you'll still be able to unlock this stuff. Like, I'm surprised that isn't a thing. I mean, there probably was some. I think there's a few Otome games that did that back in Japan in the past or something. But you don't really hear it that often. Like, I think that is a thing. But I don't think a lot of studios do it that much, but like, in Japan, I think it's more likely to happen because they have like a whole like... They like making a lot of limited edition stuff that's temporary. And they like doing that over there in Japan. Like, yeah, because like, There's games that I like that were mobile games, and I'm like, man, wouldn't it have this been funner if it was actually like not designed with the mobile game stuff in mind? Oh, I'm working on part 5 of my fic, and Malleus is gonna show up. Ooh, what fun! Because like I think, when the Twisted Wonderland main story is like finished or whatever, I feel like it would be smart to make like a sort of visual novel type game version of it that you can keep. That works when there's no internet connection, something like that. Because the thing with some of these mobile games is that if they never get to a chance to finish, you'll never be able to complete the story. It's kind of sad. Like, there's some really cool mobile games that exist, but just due to the fact that they rely on, like, servers and all that stuff, you can't really enjoy it forever. Seeing how many fanfics a kind of book 8 Malleus would be shown a bit more. Yeah. It reminds me, I need to finish reading the main story. For real, what if they turn it into a game console? That'd be cool. Yeah, like I could see like a special edition of the game. And like if you already had an account, you can link it up and then have most of your data, I guess, from when you played the game on mobile. His eyes need to be more angry right now. Because it's like, why would you have such a great story, but then once the game's popularity naturally fades off, you gotta get rid of it. As if it never existed, and if somebody didn't archive the entire thing, it's just lost forever. That's the part that annoys me. And I guess that's also part of the reason why there's so much lost media out there, is that somebody just decides that they want to get rid of something forever, despite the fact that so many people still saw it enough to care about it. That would be my heaven. Yeah. Also, one of my games on the Switch just deleted all my hard work. Oh no! What happened? Two saves of the game progress and it's gone. Oh no, not the corrupted save file. Oh no. I have to restart everything. What game was it? If I may ask. I don't know what happened, but it's gone. Because I know sometimes some games just have save file corruptions, and that sucks. Especially if they're like the game studio in question is unable to like fix it, so that way people who were affected by it can get some of the stuff back. I know Dreamlight Valley sometimes has crashes like that. It was data, everything. I was so close to be done. Oh no. Got 3 characters left. Oh no. What were you playing? What were you playing? I want to know. Hello, Mercury. Hello, I just listened to Dozo Konomama by Keiko Moriyama. Ride Like the Wind by Christopher Cross. You Know How to Love Me by Phyllis Heyman. Hello, Mercury. we have something to yap about, oh boy. And that's the current PlayStation issue. Ugh. Physical media is superior, man. It was date everything. I went to check and it was gone. Oof. The game I tried to apply working as an artist for. This wouldn't have happened if you hired me! I'm kidding. Corrupt saved file is understandable. Honestly, all that progress wiped out just by a corrupt save file. Yeah, that happens. I've never really had like a corrupt save file, but whenever I play Dreamlight Valley sometimes it crashes on me before I get a chance to save, so some of my stuff is lost. And every once in a while, the game will have an update like, we're sorry about the current issues, here's some free stuff now that we fixed the problem. For the most part, anything that ever happened, for me, losing anything save data-wise was that my battery died before I got to save. I never really experienced too many game glitches in my life. I hate it so much. This is the first time it happened to me. One day, I will experience a terrible game corrupting, or whatever, a terrible save file corruption, and I will be upsetty too. I can just feel it. Because it's like, man, I didn't get to save! All that progress is lost! Which reminds me, yesterday I was playing Tears of the Kingdom. I was fighting a Gleeok, and I almost finished fighting the Gleeok. And then I missed when I fell from the sky. I did one of those, I forget what it's called, but the one where he's like slashing the sword straight into the ground. I missed the Gleeok. I hit the ground instead. And I'm like, no, I need to start the entire fight over. I don't want to do it. It was painful. That happened last night. I was like, you know what? That's enough game for me today. I'm going to draw now. Something else. I'm gonna play Dreamlight Valley instead. How about that? I'm tired. It was quite the experience. Tears of the Kingdom, I got stuck on frickin' Sidon quest. I'm almost at the point of facing off against Ganondorf. I'm just doing as many random side quests as I can, because I already have a lot of side quests done. Because, in Breath of the Wild, I did the thing where it's like, I did all the shrine quests, I did all the shrines, and then I did all the, side quests before I fought off against Ganondorf for the first time. Well, the Malice thing. Whereas, I'm trying to do that again, but there's, like, so much more random stuff in Tears of the Kingdom, and I keep discovering other random side quests. Even though I thought I found them all. There's more! He's like, man, that's a lot of side quests. I might as well fight Ganondorf right now, but I don't want to do that. I want to at least get more inventory for the weapons and stuff, so I'm trying to find Koroks as well, which is also a little annoying. But my weapons break too much. I need more. Especially the bows. Especially because when you fight the Gleeok, it's just so much easier to get a bunch of Keese eyes. And just aim it at the Gleeoks. It's so much easier to fight them like that. Even though it's kind of a cop-out, but it's like, hey, the game gives me homing missiles. I will use it! At this point, I just want to focus on 70s and 80s music. 70s and 80s music is good. Yeah, it is a vibe. we need a revolution of physical media at this point because too many companies want to try and get rid of it, and it's kind of annoying, and I don't like it. I want to be able to do what I want with the stuff that I buy when I want to. I don't want to draw too much detail on Trey. I'm focusing more on his arms. In Breath of the Wild, I went in the Ganon fight by mistake. I didn't have the bird or the volcano yet. I do like how both games can just, they allow you to enter the final boss zone even though you were clearly not ready. It was always funny seeing people, like, enter the boss fight, like, right after getting out of the tutorial in Breath of the Wild and just going straight for the boss. And getting obliterated. Though I was kind of close to beating him. Impressive. Impressive. I still like how with Tears of the Kingdom they still managed to keep a sort of surprise similar to the Guardian fights. Because it was always so funny seeing people play Breath of the Wild for the first time and then encounter a Guardian early on in the game before they have, like, good weapons to fight them. And then just, you hear the music. It just sends fear straight through your veins. And we were able to experience that again with the gloom hands or whatever they're called, the malice hands, whatever they're called, and that was a whole new level of fear. I still don't fight those things, even though I probably should. Like, I have better weapons to fight those things, but at the same time I'm like, no, it's too hard. I'd rather fight the Lynels and the Gleeoks over the hands. I don't want to fight them. Because they're not like the Guardians where once you beat it, it's done. No, they enter phase 2, and I'm just like, dang it. I didn't even know you can do that. How was that pro gamer? Then I lost. Let me show you my pro gamer moves. Gets obliterated. I definitely early on in the game I was very much better at fighting off Lynels and Gleeoks and whatever. But then when you stop playing it for a while and then you try to go back, it takes a while to relearn how to do that again. When I fought the Guardian for the first time, oh my goodness, I ran. Now I just aim for the legs as best I can. I hate the Lynel things. I can never beat it. I was a beast at fighting Lynels. The key is to have a bunch of weapons at the ready. At least for me, I would have as many weapons as possible at the ready. And I also would do this thing where I kind of jump at them from above. Because, I don't know, I just like doing that. Because you can do the thing with the arrows and like just shoot a bunch of arrows at them in midair. I usually did that. And I used to be good at dodging the attacks, so that way I can do like the little flurry damage thing when you dodge right away. I haven't been able to do that successfully in a while. I'm rusty, man. Like, first time playing through Breath of the Wild, I was able to learn all the fighting techniques, and I was a beast at fighting enemies like that. I have the mask, but and I have a lot of weapons and bows and food and fairies. So many fairies. That's kind of what I'm trying to do in Tears of the Kingdom at the moment, is trying to get more enemy items, because I want to try and level up some armors as well. Especially the champion's tunic. I finally leveled that one up successfully. And that one took a while because the Light Dragon's path is obnoxious. It is obnoxious to get to it because I don't have that many Sky Island access points to follow it. Because Zelda's always up in the sky. The other dragons, they go up in the sky, but they don't go that high, and then they go down underground. And they're kind of easier to catch because when they're going down or coming out of the holes in the ground, it's easier to kind of just jump on them. I'll go listen to 992 Arguments by OJ's, You Haven't Done Nothing by Stevie Wonder, Never Can Say Goodbye by Gloria Gaynor, and Superfly by Curtis Mayfly. Bye, Mercury! So in the Tears of the Kingdom, I wanted to kill Sidon so... Sidon's soon-to-be wife so bad. She just annoyed me. Oh no! I honestly don't really remember her that much. She kind of just exists. But I still think it's kind of funny how the development of Breath of the Wild had so many ideas going on that they had to make a sequel because DLC just wasn't enough. Like, it's not enough. We have way too many ideas going on. We have so much world building and lore here. We must continue. Because Zelda games don't get sequels, like direct sequels, all that often, so it's kind of a big deal when they do. I don't even think Majora's Mask is kind of a direct sequel. It's like a weird sequel to Ocarina of Time. But it kind of counts as a sequel to Ocarina of Time. I'm not the expert on Zelda lore. That's one of my other friends. She's got the book. She got the compendium. She got the timeline down. I don't. I'll fix this hand later. We're not focusing on it. I want the DLC so bad. Breath of the Wild got 2 of them. Yeah, and I didn't get any of the DLC for Breath of the Wild, sadly. But at least I know what happens in it. But I feel like you didn't really need too much of the DLC anyway, like the knowledge of what goes on in there, to follow along what's happening in Tears of the Kingdom. Because it just brings in a whole lot more lore. There is a Zelda movie coming out. Oh yeah, I remember that. I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I think the casting choice is kind of very spot on for the characters, I guess. But it's like, I kind of wish it was animated, but at the same time, if it ended up being animated, then they would have had celebrity voice actors or something, and I don't really feel like celebrity voice acting fits that much. Like, that's my one complaint about the Mario movies is the celebrity voice acting, because not every celebrity is a good voice actor. Except for Yoshi, apparently. I forgot the dude's name, but he's voicing Yoshi in like every language for the movie, and it's like, dude was dedicated. Dude was like, I want to be Yoshi. Yoshi doesn't talk, and he's like, I know. Let me be Yoshi. And the hand looks good. But it could be better. It could be better. Hello, welcome. We're drawing and talking. I am practicing drawing arms connected to bodies because I suck. And we're kind of just yapping about Zelda and stuff at the moment. What's your favorite Zelda game? If they make Link talk, I'm a fight. Like, yeah, he can talk, but no, he's a mute. I mean, he can talk, he just doesn't say much. We're not gonna have the 80s cartoon Link, that's for sure. But, like, if you've read other, Zelda mangas or whatever, Link talks, and it doesn't seem that weird. Because, again, even in the games, it's kind of implied that he is speaking. It's just, Link is more of a character that has few words to say. Toad got me so mad, I can do a Toad voice. Yeah, it's like, I can understand why they were probably like, maybe we don't want to do the Toad voice, but at the same time, like, you should have done the Toad voice. It's iconic. At least for our main Toad. Our main Toad can be the only Toad who talks like a Toad. All the other Toads can have more normal-sounding voices, so that way a bunch of voice actors aren't straining their vocal cords all the time. Or maybe a background Toad talks like a Toad. And then our main Toad can just talk however. But it's like, we needed the Toads to talk like Toads. Those are my only gripes with the Mario movie, is just, you can do the goofy voices. You can! We've seen it work before! With other, like, Mario games, even though the characters don't really have full-on dialogue in there, we still hear them talk. We hear them talk enough where it's like, it wouldn't be weird. The manga is fine, but for me, he better not speak. I don't know, we have to wait and see for, like, an official trailer, because all we have is, like, behind the scenes, we know who's starring as Link and Zelda, and that's all I remember. I'll leave this tray here. And I drew on the wrong layer. I'm so smart. I made his head too big. There. Because I drew on the wrong layer the entire time. Aren't I silly? So we have Ruggy over there. We have Trey over here. You know what? I'm gonna draw Leona. We're gonna do a quick sketchy-roo of Leona. I'm just gonna move these over. Luigi and Mario got me mad though. Peach was okay, but she didn't sound soft-spoken. Just a girl boss voice. Also, I like girl bosses, but I think they ruined Peach. Also, Rosalina in the second movie is a little too in character, but her and Peach being sisters is to me. First Ruggy, then Trey, and now Leona. Yeah, I still don't like how Peach's voice is in the movie. I don't like it. it just doesn't sound princessy enough. She just sounds like a girl. Although, yeah, Rosalina was pretty in character, surprisingly. I mean, I don't like Celebrity in Question voicing her that much, but at least she was good as a voice actor, surprisingly. That was the one thing that surprised me, like, you've redeemed yourself in my eyes. But other than that, yeah, I still don't like how Peach's voice sounds in the movie. And, like, it's not like Peach can't be, like, a girl boss. She's just very girly while doing it. If you've ever played, like, Super Princess Peach or whatever. I know she also has a new game as well. And even there, she's still very girly while also being a badass. And I feel like people forget that that is a combination you can do. The only good character voice is Bowser. And Bowser Jr., I guess. The Luna being voiced by real kids is good. Yeah, I will agree on that. Although Bowser Jr.'s voice was kind of weird at first, but then it's like, you know what? It fits with the cartoony zaniness that this movie is missing, and that's probably why it sounds weird compared to almost every other character. I think Kamek also has a pretty good, like, cartoony sounding voice, and Jack Black was always a good voice actor anyway. He already proved himself to be a very good voice actor. And he does a really good Bowser. Although I still think you could have had Mario have his Mario voice, or at least, you know, I don't know, if they ever had Waluigi or Wario in the next movie or something, they better have Charles Martinet voicing them. They deserve to have goofy voices. Let them be goofy, weird voices, please. Well, Kamek's voice actor did a good job. Peaches, 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 peaches. Peaches. Yeah, that's always going to be something that kind of bugs me with certain movies is celebrity voice actors. Because not every celebrity can do voice acting. You only get a good celebrity voice actor if they were already a comedian who does goofy voices to begin with. I'm sad we got no song from Jack, though. Like, they got the OG voice actor in the movie. Yeah. He was only like a cameo, which is kind of sad. Apparently, they also had the original voice for Princess Peach back from the 80s cartoon in the first movie as a cameo as well. I blame voice actor unions. I see a lot of people say Danny DeVito as Wario, but like, okay, but who be Waluigi? Let Charles Martinet be Waluigi. I can accept that Danny DeVito Wario if we have Charles Martinet Waluigi. Let the man voice Waluigi, please. Honestly, let him voice both Wario and Waluigi in, like, the next Mario movie. We need them to be goofy. Goofy character voices, please. After all, these are supposed to be appealing to general audiences and children. It's a goofy cartoon world to begin with. Let it be a goofy cartoon world. It was a funny looking Leona. He plays a plumber and as Mario and Luigi's dad, and the line, "Those are my boys," that line. If I see them make Wario and Waluigi hating Wario and Luigi hating each other or something, I'm gonna fight. I need Daisy. Wario shows up in the same game Daisy does. Have Waluigi with them. Funny looking Leona. Yeah, funny looking Leona. I just want him to look grumpy as well. I also don't draw Leona that often either. It's like you can tell who my favorite characters are by the fact that I'll draw them a lot more often than others. Yeah, I still think animated Zelda movie would have been nice. But I wouldn't be surprised if the executives thought that if they made a Zelda movie animated, it'd be too childish or something. Like, we want this to be more of an older demographic than the Mario movie, so we can't make it animated. And I think that's kind of dumb. I still think the Zelda movie should be animated. Why am I making his ears look weird? They don't look right. I'm gonna keep messing with that. Hello, Valerie. We are drawing and yapping. Yapping and drawing. Well, excuse me, princess. We don't want that link. We don't want that link. Although I'm curious what Zelda game the movie is gonna kind of loosely adapt as a movie. I think it's supposed to be Breath of the Wild or something. The costume design kind of looked like it. Unless I'm hallucinating again. Leona ears look like buns. I'm trying not to make them look like buns. I probably should have a reference for his hair, but I don't feel like it right now. His hair is messy. We're giving him the bedhead look right now because I don't feel like drawing braids. It's just a mess. I hear it once. Yeah, because it looked like it was supposed to be a Breath of the Wild story. / Tears of the Kingdom. Which is definitely an interesting approach, but I feel like they probably would have had a lot more of a creative way of telling the story if they tried to adapt the original Legend of Zelda. Because that one, we don't get much love for, and I can understand the difficulties with Ocarina of Time because you would have, like, a child actor Link and an adult actor Link, and that would be kind of confusing time. It would be a confusing story for people to follow. If they're not very familiar with it. And just do the Dorito ears. So it's like, smart move trying to adapt the Breath of the Wild story, but at the same time, that one has so much lore specific to that game that if you had no idea what Breath of the Wild was about, you'd You'd have to follow along with what's going on in the movie. And then you go into Breath of the Wild and you're like, wow, there's a lot more here than I thought. Breath of the Wild was just so fully thought out, I can understand that it would probably make for an easier time making a movie out of that one. Because a lot of the earlier Zelda games, they kind of just did whatever. They weren't even meant to be only about Link and Zelda. That wasn't even the original vision. It's just that it was so popular. The characters from it were so popular that they're like, well, we gotta keep going now. We figured out what we want to do. And that's Link, Zelda, Ganon, Ganondorf, forever trapped in time. Their adventures. This is my weird little foreshortening hack that I saw on a YouTube video. Circles. The actors are pretty spot on, yeah. I appreciate that very much. Because honestly, I kind of don't like it that much when the casting choices don't really look anything like the characters. Or there's not even an attempt to make the actors look kind of like the characters. Because then it's like, well, why are you making a movie about this then if you don't even want the characters to look like the existing animated characters? That's kind of something that annoys me as well. Like, you know, at least Angelina Jolie did her best at trying to play Lara Croft. She looked the part. Was the movie that good? Eh. I mean, I've watched the Tomb Raider movies. They're okay. Like, they capture the energy, but it's like, I don't know. It's a weird experience. Yeah, I don't think they were that bad. Now I can't wait for Ganon. Yeah. I'm curious, though, if it is going to be Ganon or Ganondorf. Like, how closely are they going to follow the events of Breath of the Wild? Where it's like, are we gonna have, like, are we even gonna see a Ganondorf? Or are we just gonna have the malice Ganon the entire time? The mindless hatred, and then set up a sequel for something that's similar to Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Is he gonna be CGI? He is gonna be edited. Is he gonna be edited into a huge man? I mean, there are people who are huge. And also, I think classical sort of camera techniques can just make characters look bigger or smaller. I don't know. I'm tired of over-reliance on CG effects in movies. We don't need too many CG effects in movies. We just need good camera work. Please. It's like, you don't have to always rely on the CGI effects team. Please give them a break. You're working them too hard, man. You can't just throw everything at the special effects people and expect it to turn out well. I don't really think this is a good shape for Leona right now. Make it a little bit more rectangular. Temporary face. Just meh. Again, I keep drawing the heads too big when I start. Shaq is Ganondorf. I should stop. No, but like if you're gonna do Shaq as like a physical Ganondorf, you gotta hire somebody else to do the voice. Like Darth Vader. Darth Vader wasn't played by James Earl Jones physically. James Earl Jones was just the voice. It's like you're allowed to do that too. Especially if you're gonna CGI most of Ganondorf anyway. I don't know. But nah, I don't know. You gotta have like a tall man do Ganondorf. It doesn't even have to be an actual celebrity actor either, just some tall actor. Give somebody a new shot. I want more hair around his neck. Yes. It looks like he's sitting on a throne and he's annoyed. Like, I had no idea where I was going with this sketch, but I kind of like it. He's having his I'm surrounded by idiots moment. I can fix this a little bit. General shape of hand. Oh, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the Dark Crystal series on Netflix, the Emperor voice would fit over Blood Leona. Or, well, Dream King Leona. I mean, that could work, but I don't feel like drawing a shirt. Actually, I think this arm needs to be a little bit positioned more upward, like he's leaning on it. And this one can be a little bit lower. Like about here. Yeah. I want him to look like he's kind of leaning back. We all know he ain't sitting in that chair properly. He's just lounging back there. Although, I haven't seen the Dark Crystal series. I will never be dusted. I have seen Labyrinth, though. I need I need Leona real quick. What does your face look like, Leona? And then he gets dusted in the movie. You'll never kill me! Gets killed. We just... Leona. That image is bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Wait, hold on. I don't like it when it does that thing where it looks like it's cropped, but it's not. Never mind, it is cropped. Why? Whatever. She over there. Smug looking creature. I do have a hard time drawing his hair sometimes. Hello! Thanks for stopping by. We're drawing and talking about random movies and stuff. How are you? I am practicing anatomy. With my favorite anime boy. Sort of, not really. I don't draw these characters often. You disappeared for a second. He does the first minute we see him. Yes, it's Leona. Bestie's husband. Leona King's Follow. We have an unfinished Ruggie and Trey, and now Leona. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to practice drawing right now. More anatomy stuff, because I feel like I could use more work with that. You always gotta practice your fundamentals. Might as well do it live. Although everything is starting to lag, so I think I do have to call it. Although I still want him to have like this annoyed look in his face, like, really. And then you gotta have a little bit of those eye wrinkles around the corner of his eye. he looks pissed off. Yeah, I think now is about time to end it because it's been almost an hour. I am glitching out all over the place. Thanks for stopping by. See you Tuesday. I'm thinking of doing something new. I don't know. I don't know what to do Tuesday. What should we do Tuesday? You know, besides draw and talk about Twisted Wonderland. We'll see. Have a nice weekend! And for the Americans, enjoy your 4th of July, because I know I will. I love fireworks. Bye-bye!